YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, welcoming you back to the battlefields of Total War Warhammer 2, where we're going to be following the Druchii into combat. That's right, the Dark Elves. They love calling themselves Druchii all the time, though, and I guess that's fine. They're going up against Skaven. Let's try and get a quick look at the armies. I'll go into slow motion so we can get a quick take. Looks like we've got ourselves a front line of Black Ark Corsairs. I see a Khainite Assassin, a Dreadlord with sword and shield. Let's actually zoom back down on this. So let's see here. Black Ark Corsairs with handbows in the second line, Witch Elves in the back line, along with some Dread Spears and Blackguard of Nagaron. There is a Cold One Chariot. I think Chariot's a good pick versus Skaven. Skaven have a Doom Wheel moving up already. There's a Plague Claw Catapult. Looks like this front line is going to be some Storm Vermin with halberds and sword and shields. Back line, we've got some Skaven Slave Slingers, some Deathglow Bombardiers, an Assassin, and Lord Skrolk. Skrolk has some pretty good abilities if he uses them right. Let's check things out here. Yeah, this Doom Wheel is going to have an easy time doing a lot of damage to all this infantry. When you get something like this happening with the Doom Wheel, definitely should have used the Chariot to try and slow it down a little, because infantry just don't slow down Doom Wheels. You need a Lord, you need something big, hefty, like cavalry, or a dragon or something like that. See, the Doom Wheel's suffering a little bit in terms of morale, and it's going to go out of control here because of the Witch Elves. So this is actually really good for the Dark Elf player. Here comes the mainline engagement. We got a Dreadlord out here on his Cold One. Whoa, sorry about that. Let's watch the Skaven go to clash here with the Dark Elf foes. Black Ark Corsairs are a really cool unit. They will be really good against everything besides the Storm Vermin, and that be the Storm Vermin. So yeah, they won't do so good there. Let's zoom out and try and get a look at what's going on from the overhead. Clan Rats going crazy from Witch Elves. Lord Skrolk just plows right on in here. We got Liber Bubonicus going on right now on the... Whew, that was brutal. Yeah, that Dreadlord is in trouble, and there was a Plague Monk Censer Bearer that's chasing him, and he's not continuing to run, so that Dreadlord's in some pretty serious trouble if he doesn't get away from that, because the Censer Bearers can penetrate armor quite well. The Black Ark Corsairs with handbows and the Blackguard are moving up. That Plague Claw Catapult's firing away, and if we take a look at the front line, the first wave of Black Ark Corsairs failed miserably against the Storm Vermin. It's kind of a second wave rolling in now. Black Ark Corsairs and some Witch Elves. The Witch Elves will help stuff rampage. The Khainite Assassin is up here working on Lord Skrolk. And the Black Ark Corsair handbows are getting some really nice shots in here too. Doing some great damage to him. Let's see, it looks like there's a spell coming down, or there was over here. That Khainite Assassin got in here, and man, he got some work done. Lord Skrolk just eats it. Look at that Assassin. The Assassin's pretty cool. He can fire while moving, I believe. Very short range on his ranged weapon, but it's high damage. It's a crossbow. Look at him chase Skrolk out of here. The Doom Wheel somehow survived and is still going to town. These Storm Vermin are holding up like a wall over here. Skaven don't have a ton of high quality units, but that is certainly one of them. I didn't recognize that spell there either, but it did tremendous damage. The Dreadlord is in pretty rough shape. The Doom Wheel is getting some shots at him. But let's see, the Dreadlord's going to come in here. That Doom Wheel might be able to finish off the Dreadlord. It's going to be really close. I've had a lot of people telling me that they think Doom Wheels are OP. I'm not convinced they're OP. They are very strong. But at the same time, if you take the Doom Wheel and weaken it a whole bunch, the Skaven don't have much that can disrupt formations other than like Rat Ogres. And so I'm not sure that it's a good idea to really do a lot of nerfing on the Doom Wheel per se, because then I think it takes away a key part of the Skaven arsenal, which gives them the ability to try and shut down enemy skirmishers. I think the thing to remember with Doom Wheels is that they can't plow through stuff that has a high mass. People usually get frustrated because they just go plowing through their infantry or skirmishers, and you can't ever stop them. That's pretty much what chariots do, and that's kind of what the Doom Wheel is. It's just a big chariot. And you have to keep that thing pinned up with cavalry. The nets of Ammontok can be another useful tool against the Doom Wheel to help pin it down. Is that like a single unit? Yeah, he's a Blackheart Corsair with handbow. It's like he was standing there fighting this assassin. Let's watch the assassin in action here. That teeny little Skaven assassin going around there with the warpstone blades. Alright, that animation was pretty sick. That was pretty good. Like, pulled like a Yoda move there with that thing. Some summoned clan rats coming up. Pretty close fight, actually, and there's quite a few Skaven skirmishers back here. Some of them, these gutter runners, are out of ammo. But these Skaven slave slingers have some ammo left, and that actually is going to make this a pretty intense fight here. The Blackguard, though, is still pretty healthy, and there's some Witch Elves here. That's not going to be good for the Skaven. This Blackguard has pretty strong armor, and it is going to be a tough unit to take down in melee for anything that the Skaven have remaining. And you can see there that the Skaven have a lot of routing units back here. I think that's going to be the end of them. These units out here just shattered. This unit's rampaging. Back here, though, the Cold One Chariot's rampaging right into the gutter runners. I don't see much left for the Skaven, but it's giving them a decent chance still on the power bar there. It's starting to dry up a little, and it probably should. Let's check out these Cold One Chariots close up.
Look, see, they run!
Nice. Love the dinosaurs hucking the rats around. That's just never going to get old, folks. At least I don't think so. These Blackguard are some cool looking units too. I really like the High Elf units the most in terms of aesthetic, but the Dark Elves definitely have some cool aesthetics going on. Theirs is just a little bit darker, a little bit less vibrant, so maybe that's why it doesn't always pop out as much, but they definitely have some cool aesthetic to them as well. Let's see what the Skaven has brought to be mustered back here. These Storm Vermin with halberds came back, but they're in pretty rough shape. Some of the better infantry that the Skaven can muster. But even their best infantry, not a ton of armor, decent armor. These Blackguards shouldn't have any problem besting any infantry that the Skaven have left. So we do know that the Blood and Gore is going to unlock with the Mortal Empires update, and also if you own Blood and Gore for Warhammer 1, you don't have to buy the DLC for Warhammer 2. So that's pretty cool as well. CA is going to go ahead and just include that straight across. Let's go ahead and fast forward out of this one. It's pretty much over. Skaven's about to give in. Their slingers aren't going to be enough to finish it. So interesting battle we had there with Dark Elves and Skaven. So yeah, sorry. Oh, also sorry there's no campaign today too. I've got family over, so I won't have a lot of time to record. So I just wanted to get a replay in here from a viewer because I haven't gotten many replays in recently, and I like trying to look at some of your replays. This chariot did a lot of work. That's as to be expected. Blackheart Corsairs, one or two of them did pretty good. The Blackguard definitely a solid investment here. Still mostly alive. He's getting plenty of kills. These Witch Elves, man, those ladies paid dividends too. And then that Cainite Assassin was pretty cool. In the end, the Dreadlord died, and the Cainite Assassin did too. But the Cainite Assassin put a pretty big wrecking on Skrulk, which is important because his Liber Bubonicus is really, really powerful. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you all a quick look at maybe some different ways. So like people talk about Doom Wheels. I can show you an idealized scenario. I'm not sure where I stand on it. I certainly don't have any impression that they're OP right now. I guess if someone helps change my mind, I may tend to think that. But as of now, I'm not really bought in on it, and I'll kind of show you why. But I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's put Skaven over here. I'll put a couple of Doom Wheels, and then we'll just throw a Warlord in here so he can't do much. Anyway, so there's a couple of Doom Wheels, and I'll swap over to, let's go with Lizardmen as an example. And this is not all that unusual to find, say, like Krokgar on Grimlock, supported by a Saurus Scar veteran. This is a pretty common occurrence that you'll see, and just for the sake of, you know, I'll take away the abilities and let's act like there's no abilities here. But I mean, there would be abilities probably in the battle, but we'll take the abilities and the items away. So no items, no abilities, and then you know, so you got Kroq-Gar and stuff in here. Can they stop these Doom Wheels? Can the Doom Wheels outrun them? If you just look straight at speed, 72 speed, 75 speed, or 75 and then 72 speed, it'd be kind of hard to catch them. So, but I mean, I guarantee you these guys would tear apart a Doom Wheel pretty quick. But some people might say, well, Air, they're too hard to catch because the Skaven player is never going to let you get a hold of them with it. Well, that's fair. Another way you could go about it, like Mazdamundi, he has Net of Amantok. You've also got a Slan Mage Priest of Light that has the Net of Amantok. So that's a couple ways the lizards could deal with it. And then I'm thinking the other good way to deal with it would be the High Elves. So again, I think Teclis has a net. So how quickly can you tear apart a Doom Wheel if you need the opportunity, for instance? So like if we go with mounts, put Teclis up here just so you can get around a little bit. If you get the Doom Wheel stopped, now the High Elves don't have like armor-piercing missiles, but let's just say like it's not all that uncommon, for instance, for a dragon to be around. So if we take a dragon, let's say that we got a sun dragon here, so I won't even pick the most powerful one. Let's cut the Skaven down to one Doom Wheel, and we'll just go give you a quick example. So what ideally I think the way you'd want to use the Net of Amantok is you'd want to wait until the Doom Wheel got kind of behind your lines, and then you would want to hit it with the net and start ganging up on it with whatever units provide either anti-large or armor-piercing. But if we watch, this would be the example of how I think is probably why the net is such a good way of dealing with them. So the Doom Wheel is very mobile. It's one of the reasons why it's so good. Get our Net of Amantok. We can net it for a good long time. When you have it netted, you can use stuff like these breath attacks to better effect. See there, we got some really good damage done on it. Dive in, start sending stuff after it. And you can usually get some really good damage done on the Doom Wheel. See how quickly we can damage it while it's netted? It can still ram back, it can still fight back, but to me this is one of the easiest ways to deal with the Doom Wheel. Wait till you get it in the right spot, hit it with the Net of Amantok, have units ready, and massacre it. So that's typically one of the best ways to deal with the Doom Wheel, and you can see how quickly a dragon can make short work of a Doom Wheel there. So that's one way. I would say that the Dark Elves, they have the right missile units to get rid of a Doom Wheel. Their struggle is they don't have the Net of Amantok, I don't believe. So that's where it's going to be tougher. But I think the High Elves and the Lizardmen are probably the best ones positioned to deal with the Doom Wheel. The Dark Elves probably will struggle with it a little more. So I think that the other one I kind of want to check real quick is some Dark Elf cavalry. Let's take a look at the... I mean, you usually have a dragon around as Dark Elves. That's not uncommon. So like we could assume we have a black dragon. But I won't even use the dragon. Let's just go into... like Cold One Knights are a pretty common unit. I know that this will cost a lot more than the Skaven Doom Wheel, but what we'll do real quick is I'll just take one Cold One Knight in, see how well it fares against the Doom Wheel. I'm thinking the Doom Wheel can probably defeat one unit of cavalry, but if you were managed to get them mixed up with two, maybe not. You don't have a net. The other thing you could use on the Doom Wheel with the Dark Elves would be a Soul Stealer. So you could use Soul Stealer to kind of do a damage spell on the Doom Wheel. Let's see what happens with just one Cold One Knight going straight into the Doom Wheel. I'm thinking the Doom Wheel will actually probably be able to clutch out a victory, but I could be wrong. We'll stay there. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'll just... Yeah, see, the Doom Wheel actually managed to get out of the entrapment. And there's the second charge. My guys go crazy. I mean, they do a ton of damage to the Doom Wheel. So you can see a Cold One Knight right there is a pretty good trade if you just keep them focused on the Doom Wheel. Now, the Doom Wheel player might be trying to run back behind their own lines and stuff like that, but I mean, this Cold One Knight, again, did pretty heavy damage to the Doom Wheel and did it pretty quickly. Should we burn the Skaven just for fun?
Glorious destruction.
I guess that dragon doesn't want to throw up on the Skaven there.
Noble boar.
That's kind of weird. Get him. I want to see some Skaven get vomited on. I'll have the breath attacks on the dragon. Yeah, I mean, you can see that's a great trade. The Doom Wheel wins, but I mean, heck, man, you got a lot of damage done with that Cold One Knight. You got to remember the Doom Wheel costs more, so I don't know. I know that's just some really quick testing without a whole bunch of other surrounding evidence on it, but I mean, that's why I would come in and say that I don't think the Doom Wheel is overpowered. I just don't see it that way. Now, since I only am going to make you one video tonight, let's make one more battle here real quick. I got one more. It's going to be... Oh, no, this isn't the one I meant to play. My bad. Give me just a second. I'm going to exit out of here. I'm a little off tonight, so y'all be patient with me. Here we go. Yeah, this is not the battle I wanted to show. Quit replay. Load replay. It's going to be... all the way up here. Yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Rat. Someone sent me this one. They wanted you to see a Skaven army that had some, you know, these skulky kind of units like Death Runners and then Gutter Runners. They thought this would be a cool army for you all to see, so I wanted to show it to you. Out here's the Gutter Runners with poison. I don't have my little thing popped up here to the side where I can show you all their different traits, but I believe Gutter Runners have this ability that slows down units. It's like snare nets or something. And it slows down units getting close to them, and I believe they shoot poison projectiles, which makes it really hard for units to keep up with them. I've heard a lot of people complaining about these units, and definitely thinking they're OP, and I want to say that they said they even have some physical resistance, so we'll take a look at it. We've got some Skaven Slaves, Death Globe Bombardiers, we've got a Grey Seer of Ruin on this Doom Bell, or whatever the heck that thing is, and Poison Wind Globadiers, Clan Rats across the front line, so... pretty cheap front line to make way for the Gutter Runners. And then, let's see, he had the other units. Oh, he's forward deployed them over here. These Death Runners. They have the stalk ability, and they can stay hidden until they get pretty close to an enemy. These are armor-piercing units. They look like miniature versions of the Skaven Assassins. So you can see these units are still hidden right here. And these units are still hidden. So the Skaven player is trying to lure the Dark Elves closer. Now the Gutter Runners are going to be visible. And again, you can see they're going to start firing, trying to use some of their poison shots. And the snare nets will make it very difficult for them to be caught. Let's see how much damage they can do. So their range is very short, which is obviously a downside here. You can see here the Dark Shard's going to open fire on them. Some breath too. Yeah, physical resistance or not, these guys already took a heck of a lot of damage. They did some good damage, but they are definitely not looking invulnerable to missile fire here. But look at this, nice. This is where the Crouching Rat part comes in. Look at these Death Runners getting in behind the army, potentially going to go after this Eagle or the Reaper Bolt Thrower. Let's see if they get it. Yep, he's using the special ability here, which keeps him hidden until they get super close. I think the Dark Elf saw him. But yeah, they're going to get in here, and they're going to get the Reaper Bolt Thrower. The Witch Elves are going to make them rampage, though. And then the rest of the Skaven army is now going to move forward. That Doom Wheel is going to take some heavy damage from the Dark Shards if it doesn't get moving. Same thing with the Rat Ogres. Now the Gutter Runners can come back in from the flank. These Death Runners got whipped over here because they came in a little bit too early. Woo. Look at that Doom Wheel get nuked. Got absolutely nuked. So again, there you can see that's one of the weapons that the Dark Elves can field against a Doom Wheel, and the Doom Wheel is dead, folks. Now over here, though, you got the Poison Wind Globadiers, which I believe are good versus large, and they are doing tons of damage to the Hydra. And the Poison, or the Death Globe Bombardiers are also doing some work. These other Gutter Runners and Storm Vermin, or sorry, the Storm Vermin got in back here. The other Death Runner is in reserve. This Storm Vermin is way behind enemy lines. I think it's a summoned Storm Vermin. It is. So that's how it got behind enemy lines, but it's going to get chewed up as well. The second Death Runner coming in towards the Bolt Thrower now too. That's Skaven Grayseer. He's getting wrecked by the Bolt Thrower and the Dark Shards. He's going to have to be very, very careful here. Let's see, the Deathglow Bombardiers getting some work done here, but they are about to be charged by Witch Elves, and now they're getting focus fired by Dark Shards. Skaven has some trouble here. They are struggling a little bit at the moment. Now the Death Runners get the Bolt Thrower, and Malekith is back here too. I don't think Malekith would want to get mixed up with the whole unit of Death Runners, but these Witch Elves should do pretty good against the low armor units like Death Runners. So it should be a pretty nice... Yeah, there they went crazy, and they used Soul Stealer on them. So Malekith's going to suck the life out of them. Yeah, the Gutter Runners and the Poison Wind Globadiers getting some work done. The Hydra was killed as well. So here the Blackheart Corsairs are all blobbed up on the Assassin, but I mean those Dark Shards going to start to exercise some of their range. And this may be the physical resistance we're seeing here, where the... See if these guys skirmish. If they skirmish, they should... The snare nets should make it really hard for the Witch Elves to try and catch up. And the Witch Elves don't have any armor, so they would fall pretty quickly to skirmishers like this. So, pretty crazy fight so far. Blade Wind coming in and just kind of catching the edge of these clan rats. Witch Elves are getting shredded by Gutter Runners. They're almost out of infantry, though. Ooh, Poison Wind Globadiers now getting torn into, and then that Wind Blast gets them as well. I'm surprised that the Dark Shards haven't tried to finish the Grayseer. I would think that would be, yeah, because now they got caught by some clan rats and rat ogres. Those Dark Shards definitely had an opportunity to kill the Grayseer here, but they didn't get to it. Let's see how this turns out here. Big fight going on here. Clan rats, Deathglow Bombardier, or Poison Wind Globadiers, or whatever the heck they are. Witch Elves make it back over here. I can hear that bell ringing over there. That's so cool. How can you not think that unit's cool? Check him out, standing up there on top of the bell. How cool is that? Ooh, yeah, he's going to have to get out of here. This is close. The Assassin's in rough shape. The Witch Elves, though, routed. There's more Witch Elves over here chasing, but are going to have a hard time catching the Gutter Runners. If they do, they'll slaughter them. But they're going to have a hard time catching them. Ooh, that Grayseer's getting caught. The summoned Storm Vermin, though, is going to absolutely massacre these Dark Shards. Storm Vermin's going to be a tough unit to deal with this late into the battle, and that might actually clutch this back in favor of the Dark Elves. Or in the favor of Skaven, I should say, my bad. There's a few Dread Spears heading this way. Yeah, the Storm Vermin, look at that, mopped up the Dark Shards. I don't think that the, I mean, well, Malekith is the only unit really left. So it's just Malekith on foot, though. So the Skaven are mopping up these remaining units. Unfortunately, the Storm Vermin is going to degrade in its health over time. So the Grayseer and these other units have to try and mob Malekith. There are a few Death Runners here. That will certainly help. Clan rats, rat ogres. See whether Malekith can tank out this kind of stuff. Now, if this was a Vlad von Cart, Blade Wind, but it's set a little too far away, so it's not going to get the job done. You can't cast it too terribly close to your own character. Yeah, Malekith's going to get surrounded here. I'm not sure he can fight his way out of this much infantry. He's pretty good in combat, but I don't think he's that good. His Dark Shards are getting chased by Storm Vermin and the Poison Wind Globadiers. Look at them pulling out those crossbows. Those guys look awesome. But they are going to be caught here in the summoned Storm Vermin. Clan rats. Yeah, those guys are in trouble. And despite Malekith's pompous metal appearance, I like how he puts his sword back up over his shoulder on every single hit. Let's watch Malekith fight this here. Not a good place to be in life, Malekith. Not a good place. Might should have rethought that. Oh man, this game looks good. Check out the temple in the background too. I guess the lizard men are watching the battle from the comforts of their temple. Very close fight. Not over yet either. If Malekith were to get like a clutch rout going right here, oh look, some Blackheart Corsairs came back. That's exactly what I'm talking about actually. Those Blackheart Corsairs are crazy though, trying to chase this Gracier. Rear charge right here and bail Malekith out, and you might actually win the fight. Oh, a little bit of magic there. Yeah, this was a huge mistake chasing over here. A rear charge here may have helped finish it off. And now the Skaven actually start running away from Malekith. He's going to start regaining a little bit of leadership. Ooh, yeah, this is going to end up being closer than it initially looked like it was going to be. If those Blackheart Corsairs break this, they're going to do good against these low armor Skaven if they can stay in the fight for very long. Yep, looky there. Skaven skittering away. And we even got some, okay, they're not shattered, they're just broken. Comes some gutter runners. Gracier. Ooh. Magic just kind of nicks the Blackheart Corsairs. They're still in the fight. Not gonna last long though. Malekith though, still very much alive, and a few units regrouping now. Rat Ogres are shattered. So very weakened Malekith now. And the Skaven player very smart at keeping their distance here. That was kind of cool though. The Malekith used the power of darkness on the routing unit to try and summon up some magic. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough, though. It's a nice last-ditch effort. Fun battle there. Very close. Hope you all enjoyed the Skaven stuff tonight. I don't know. What do you think? You think Doom Wheels are OP? You think Skaven are OP? Clearly, the Clan Rat summon bug is messed up. They need to fix it. And that's basically there is no hitbox on the Clan Rat summons. And they can be abused in order to kill enemy lords really fast. So that's something that needs to be fixed. I don't disagree with that at all. But I don't know, folks. I'm just not seeing it. Like, I'm not convinced that Skaven's OP. Like, I've played against them multiple times. I haven't had much trouble beating them, and I haven't had much trouble. I mean, I've had almost more trouble using the Skaven successfully than I have beating them. That could just be me, though, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Like I said, I'm not bought into it yet. Tell me what you think. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. Hope you all enjoyed it. Like I said, sorry no campaign today. I had some family over, and I will be back recording some more for you all soon.